So thank you guys for joining us tonight. I am super, super, duper, duper, duper excited about our Zoom tonight. I am rocking some chocolate on the shoulder tonight after my daughter had some Larabar like bite things. I don't know, but whatever. So we're rocking that tonight. I hope everybody else is having a good one. But anyway, so tonight we have Miss Tiffani, who is the Aloha Mama, joining us tonight. And I'm going to let her really introduce herself, but this is going to be a good one. And like she said, get your notebooks, get them out, get ready to write. It's going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you, girl.
Excellent. Hi, guys. So I am Tiffani. I am the Aloha Mama. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and my website at thealohamama.com. I am a mommy blogger, I guess, but I am a mind, body, soul health blogger. So I talk about everything from meditation to yoga to eating and fueling your body right. And of course, that is where Plexus comes in. And I actually created the Aloha Mama as a way to reach people more about Plexus. That is where the Aloha Mama was born. I'm a writer in general. That is what I do. Before I found Plexus, I was a content writer, or I am a content writer. So I knew that that was something that played to my strong suits, and that is kind of how that got started. So what I want to do is help you guys not only find your yes. I kind of have that. I borrowed a couple of tools that I learned from someone named Reese Evans, and you can find her all over the place at Yes Supply Co. or Yes Supply. She is awesome. It is a great group, kind of like Boss Babe, but it's just a little bit different. So she has an exercise that I'm going to help you guys do called Finding Your Yes. And so I'm going to help you find your yes, and then I am going to help you make it happen and help you figure out how to juggle your lives and how to juggle everything else and really make it okay and not feel like you're going to go crazy. I guess to give you like a 30-second backstory on me. So I am a mom. My daughter she just turned 1 at the end of June. I am a content writer. I write for small businesses, doing blogs and content writing for their websites. I also manage a publication online on a small team of writers based in New York, and that is a daily publication that I help them with. Then I also manage social media accounts for them, and then of course my own blog for the Aloha Mama and my social media accounts. And that entails a lot of other things that I won't really go into, but it does take a lot of time. And then of course there is Plexus, and of course I also I needed a hobby, so I, being the productive person that I am, went and got a job at Lush on the weekends for 2 or 3 days a week because I needed some social interaction. I'm sure some of you moms can understand what I'm talking about. So needless to say, I needed a way to streamline all of this so that I didn't miss any deadlines, so that I didn't go crazy, and so that I still had time for my family and my health and my kid and everything. So first, I'm going to help you find your yes, and what I want you to do is take your piece of paper and do a cross so that it is in 4 quarters. So in the top corner on the left, I want you to write down a couple of things that you love. So I'm going to pull mine out and tell you what I wrote down for my Find Your Yes exercise. So I knew the things I love. I love natural healing. I love yoga. I love family, relationships, building relationships with people. I love cooking. I love helping people. I love ethical companies. And I love bohemian fashion. So these are just general things that they don't all necessarily need to go together right away. And you might not use all of them, but just list a bunch of things that you like, things that truly call your soul. So things that, you think about all the time. Okay, so in the second corner, so go to the top left, write down a list of things that you're good at. So for me, I knew that I'm good at writing and blogging. I know that I'm good at selling and consulting with people because of my experience at Lush. I'm very good at helping people identify their needs and find the right ingredients or tools that will help them succeed and live a better life. And in the same vein, I know I'm pretty good at coaching. And I know that I'm good at taking and editing photos. So that is just another thing that I know I'm generally okay at. Things I don't like. So now we're going to go into the bottom corner, bottom left-hand corner, and write down some things you don't like. So for me, I don't like being in a limited location. I know that one time I had a job that I had like 3 people that I interacted with all day long, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. And it was just in this teeny tiny little office. And I was doing things that I was pretty good at. I was working a marketing job and I was making pretty good money. And, you know, but God, I hated it. So yeah, I also know I hate having no interaction in the things that I'm doing. I know that I hate micromanagement. Ugh. I hate being micromanaged. I can do it. I'm a grown-up. Teach me how to do it and I'll find the most efficient way. That's just the way that I am. Some people need to be micromanaged. And I know that I don't like being away from my home or my family for too long. I like being, if not at home, then kind of around here, unless I'm traveling. Okay, so then in the final corner that you've got, write down some of your most proud career moments. So these are things, and it doesn't necessarily have to deal with plexus. It doesn't have to deal with anything, like just things that in your career past or maybe in school, things that you've done that have made you proud. I know one thing that I've done that makes me really proud is at Lush Cosmetics at the shop that I worked at. In the first 2 months that I worked there, I helped them adopt a shoreline to clean up every month. So we go out there and we clean the mangroves. It's really, really important for the ecosystem out there to clean it up. And when we first went out there, it was awful. And it's pretty bad every single time, but still. So I know that I was really proud of that. I know that I was also really proud of I helped do a couple of things at a restaurant that I worked at and help them really streamline a lot of their processes. I know that I get a lot of pride when I build a big sale at Lush or even with Plexus. I was working with this lady the other day. It was my very first day back. The last one is proud career moments. So I know that, when I was working with this lady, it was my first day back at Lush, and we just had such a great back and forth. We really built this rapport together, and she walked out with $350 of Lush products. I talked to her for like 20 minutes. Whatever, we just like bonded. We had that great moment, and that's something that gives me pride. I know that building the Aloha Mama was a big deal for me from the ground up, pretty cool. So that's something technological. I know that, that was something I enjoyed. So with all of these things together that you just gathered, think about this like a big Venn diagram. So what you're going to do is kind of pull all of these things together and find out where they intersect. So for me, I knew that natural healing, yoga, healthy cooking, helping others, having interaction with people, the fact that I am a fairly technologically inclined person, that I was already really good at writing and blogging, good at photos. It kind of seems like it just makes natural sense for me to get a blog and to talk about health. It solidifies me as someone in the realm of health, someone that people can trust, someone that people can go to. I have friends who have no idea that I work for Plexus at all. And they just message me like, hey, Tiffani, I've got this issue, I'm just whatever, my stomach, this or that. And I can share with them and talk to them, and we already have an organic relationship. They already know that I'm someone who lives a healthy lifestyle and might have the answers that they're looking for. So with that said, that's how the Aloha Mama was born. So needless to say, it takes up a lot of time. Like I said, I've got a lot of other hats that I wear other than just the Aloha Mama, but that is the major one. So I want to show you guys kind of how I make that all work together. So I have 2 planners that I use on a daily basis. Here we go. So this one is kind of like, it's just the one I'm using right now. I got it at Michael's. It's kind of like an Erin Condren. I know that, that's a big favorite among a lot of Plexus ladies. So it's very similar to that in structure. You look at the vertical. Okay. So I use that, and then I also have a daily planner that I use. It is a visual trick so that when I look at my weekly, it can look overwhelming. I can look at it and it's Monday and I'm just like, oh my God, look at everything I have to tackle this week. I just can I just go hide? I'm not ready to adult yet. So it's a really good visual trick for you to use a little small daily pocket planner. And I don't even use, this isn't even a planner. This is just a little moleskin journal. It's just a notebook. But it's more like a task list. So it helps me out with my dailies. So after you have found your yes, and you have, figured out what it is that makes all these things correlate and, find your niche, so to speak, this is what makes you unique. This is what you should be. This is your brand. Or so, it doesn't need to have a catchy name necessarily. You don't need to go as far necessarily as I went. But these elements are the things that you should be sharing. So if you are, for me, I share a lot about yoga. I share a lot about healthy, healthy lifestyle tips. I share a lot about meditation. So this draws people to me who align with those values. So this is a good way to grow your network. This is a good way to reach the people who are naturally going to build a relationship with you. And it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel inauthentic. They feel a relationship and a connection with you already. So they're already more ready to trust you. You're their friend. So that is, your brand, I guess. So as far as my planning goes, it only takes me maybe 4 or 5 hours a week total to do all of my planning for everything. So it's not something crazy overwhelming. Once a week, and I usually do it on Sundays, I take an hour and I just write a dump list. I write a dump list of absolutely everything that I have to do. So, and I started with things that are time sensitive first. So appointments, deadlines, meetings, things like that, things that can't be moved or rescheduled, those obviously go to the top of the list. So after that, you'll write down your goals and tasks that you have for the week that aren't necessarily on a time schedule. So even go down to the grain as little as, groceries, going shopping for groceries and meal planning, exercise, laundry. These are the things that slip through the cracks when we are trying to, especially if you're not already at home, if Plexus isn't your only thing and you're juggling home life and Plexus and your, other jobs and all these other things, it can get very overwhelming, and it's very easy to let your own health and your own just daily life slip through the cracks. For me, I know that I end up sacrificing doing laundry sometimes to, get some work done, or, things like that. But if you plan your life right, you shouldn't really have to sacrifice it. You can do more. I always think about, if Beyonce can do everything that she does in 24 hours, what is holding me back? Are you kidding me? She has such a more time sensitive life. It's not even a joke. Okay. I don't know. And you just have to think about yourself as capable. And that's really before I even go into this part, you have to know that you're capable. There's nothing that is put in front of you that you can't accomplish. If someone else has already done it, you could do it too. So once you've got your dump list down on paper, that's when I go to my weekly and I fill in everything that I have to do. So, for example, I have a specific kind of workout regimen that I like to do. I do 2 days of cardio, 2 days of strength training, and 2 days of long yoga flows. So I do a little bit of yoga every day, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But I know that I'm not going to want to do 30 minutes of hard cardio on a day that I am having to work at Lush from 1 to 9 p.m. So looking at your planner like this, there's no way that I can say, oh, I missed my cardio day this week because I forgot that. Nope, you didn't forget anything. You were just lazy. It's already there. It's in the planner. So I schedule those things by time sensitivity. So I make sure that at the top, and see, here we are. I'll just flip you guys to Thursday. Here we are on Thursday. Look at you guys right here at the top. Because I know I had to be here. I know that I also have to write my newsletter tonight because my Aloha Friday email goes out tomorrow morning, and I'm certainly not going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to write that, so I'm going to do it tonight. So once you've got, and everything, I put down my Bible studies in here. I put down how many blog posts I want to do for the week, and then I place them in here. I put down what yoga flows I'm doing for the day because I follow someone on YouTube. So I just write down which ones I want to do for the day. So I'm never lost. I just pick up my planner. Oh, I'm doing this one. So that only takes an hour a week, really, to plan all that stuff out. So then I've got 20 minutes every day. And it's a great way to set the intention for the day and set the intention for the morning. So wake up and do a 10-minute yoga flow, and it doesn't have to be anything super crazy. Like, don't wake up and do inversions and like all this other stuff. Just like get your blood moving, and it helps you just feel more alert first thing in the morning and just wakes everything up, and it's just a good way to get everything going. So then I go into the bathroom, I wash my face, brush my teeth. Then I've got 2 things that I do, and this is really, really important. And this is something that I apply to my life. And, when I say I'm a mind, body, soul health coach, I feel that all of those things are very important when you're trying to live a healthy and happy life. So mental health and emotional health are a big part of that, and spiritual health for me plays a big part in that as well. So it doesn't really matter what you call it, whether it's prayer or whether it is speaking your intention to the universe or, whatever it is. Every faith really impresses the importance of speaking out loud. So after you have washed your face and brushed your teeth, look in the mirror and out loud, it has to be out loud, speak an affirmation that you love about yourself today. So, I love how much I have like a giving heart. I love how much I just want to help people. It's part of who I am, and I love that it's not something that I have to force. So then after I've spoken my affirmation, I'll speak a verbal request. So whether I'm praying to God or whether I am speaking just my intention for the day into the universe, I'm going to ask for one thing that I really need to happen today. So for today, I woke up and I said, I need to know what to say. I need to know who to reach in this Zoom call. I need to know what it is that that needs to be spoken. Rachel came to me and said, hey, I really love what you're doing. Please talk to my team. So I, hope that whatever it is that I came here to say has helped at least some of you today. So after I've spoken my affirmation and my verbal request, I go to my big planner and I go to my daily. And this is just a little, you can get these at Target. I know we all love Target. I got 2 of these. It was like $13. And it's something that is small enough because that planner is really bulky. And sometimes I'll carry it around, but sometimes I don't feel like it. So I always want to carry this little guy with me though. And the reason, by the way, I do this all on paper is because it can't crash, it can't die, it can't be hacked, it can't be reformatted. There is no, unless you burn my piece of paper, you're not going to get rid of this. Like, it's right here. So that, and I guess I'm just kind of old school. Like, I just like to do it on paper. So every day I write down my task list. So when you look at this and all my reach outs that I'm doing to different companies, the blog posts and everything that I want to do, all my meetings, that can look like really crazy and overwhelming. And this is actually a very tame week. But this does not look so crazy. This looks very achievable. So right down here, I've written, that I have to my work for that publication today, my newsletter, my Zoom call, my Bible study and yoga flow, and that I need to, here's a reminder that I've totally forgotten about. I need to request days off at work for this guy so that he can go play some games on the weekend when I'm supposed to be working. So someone can be here with the baby. And I totally would have forgotten about that if I did not write that down in my handy dandy notebook. So I keep that notebook with me all day for just regular like observations about my day as well. If I find a brand that I really want to work with, because that's part of my part of what I do with the Aloha Mama. So if I find a brand that I want to work with, I'll write them down. If I find anything throughout the day. Like this is an old notebook that I have that I'm kind of referencing right now, and it looks kind of a mess, but it is like a little, it's awesome. These things it's a wealth of information even after you're done using the notebook. If you want to invest in a little bit more than just the little moleskin, I highly recommend getting like a hard covered, these are called lecterns. They're bullet journals, and that is a whole other thing that I could talk to you guys about. But that you just Google or like Pinterest bullet journaling. Bullet journaling is really awesome, and it's kind of like a more defined version of what I'm telling you about the planning your life part. But it can get really visually overwhelming for some people. So I wanted to deliver it to you nice and simple. So that is basically it. So I don't know if you guys want to do like some questions for a couple of minutes or what.
Yeah, I'd love to do questions if everybody else is open to it.
I'm ready.
You can send it in chat or you can unmute yourself, do whatever you need to do. But yeah, I have a question actually.
Yeah, what's up?
Everybody else is thinking. So I guess you do your weekly planning first. Like you said, you do your dump list.
Yeah.
And then you do your weekly, like you put everything on there. And then when do you do your dailies? Like, do you just wake up in the morning and do it, or what?
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's two ways that you can do it. Now, I used to, I'll answer that in just a second. I used to do it at night, the night before, but I really, really like my morning ritual. So it's part of my like kind of 20 minutes that I use in the morning that I get up and I stretch and I do my affirmations, and then I just go sit down with my planner for a couple of minutes and I just transfer it all over. But I mean, I used to do it at night. So it's kind of, whatever works better for you. And also something that I used to write down that I don't necessarily need to anymore, but I used to write down my products. If you don't remember to take your products, it's a good way to track it and remember. So I know that I used to, when I was, it's August now. I started in January, so it's kind of more like second nature now. But I remember like that second bio cleanse of the day, I just always used to forget it. So when I started writing it down and tracking it, that was another tool that I used in there.
When I read your blog, which is originally what made me ask you to do this, it changed my life. I sent it to Ashley and I was like, read this. But you talked about in your daily journaling, you did like your water and your supplements and then anything like major you had to do that day. And just
exactly.
That's what you use the bullet journal for, right?
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the same thing as the moleskin. I filled up my bullet journal, and it's like I just didn't feel like waiting for it off of Amazon when I have a Target next door, so I just walked over. Like, I don't go super hard into bullet journal like I did at first. Like, at first, so this is an ops tracker that I used at first that I can totally send you a picture of, but this was people that I had reached out to, different, like how I had connected with them, whether I had followed back up with them. But I got really bad at like tracking it like that. Like, it's just not the way that my brain works. I'm a word person, so lists are better for me than like visual aids.
That was beautiful to me, but
it's just my learning style, and like I totally get it. Like, I had posted it in the big like Laura Donnelly group, and they had really liked it, but it's just not super like my style. But to answer your question, yes, those 4 topics are something that you can use to help brand yourself, or even to to do something that elevates you, like the Aloha Mama. Like, if you can take it further, or if you have the desire to take it further, see, I use the Aloha Mama as my like major platform. So like Rachel's talking about in that blog post, I referenced taking my supplements, and I took pictures of my list, and so people saw that I take Plexus products. I have links to posts that I've done where, like, my sister, she had psoriasis for over 10 years. Horrible, horrible, horrible psoriasis. Nothing worked. She was on ProBio for like 2 weeks, and it was cleared up. It was like magic. It was amazing. So of course I wrote a blog post about it, right? That's what that platform is there for. So, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, actually, and this is a huge like brag right now, and it's the craziest brags. I didn't do anything. I did nothing. And this person must have found me from either my website or my Instagram, because those are the only 2 places that I publicize my email address for Tiffani at thealohamama.com. So I randomly got an email at like 2:45 in the morning one day from some lady who was asking me for my Plexus website. She didn't, I tried to like email her back and be like, oh, if you need any help, like with your needs, like identifying what it is that you would like to order, like, please, like, let me know. She was vacationing in Hawaii from Canada. I don't, like, it was a total act of God that I was even awake to answer her email, because she could have just Googled Plexus and like bought from the first thing that popped up, right? So I wake up to an email. She didn't ever email me back. I woke up to an email from a sale that had 419 PV. Like, just totally random. Don't even know this person. And that is because they found me through the Aloha Mama.
I think that's awesome.
I am a member of Yes Supply. I'm actually their featured member this month. If you go to yessupply.co, I'm like right at the top. Yes Supply is awesome. Like, if you're thinking about joining any kind of subscription society like that, or like a group like that, that is supposed to help you as an entrepreneur, like, I 100% vote Yes Supply. Like, yay, hi. That's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, those things are, and yes, exactly. So if you remember Yes Supply, you should totally recognize what I'm talking about. I totally borrowed this from Reese. It is amazing. I love Reese. I think that she is amazing. Like, the tool to find your yes is so simple and just so magical, and it can really help you to find what it is that is unique about you. So, like I said, Plexus is a leg of what I do with the Aloha Mama, and granted, it is a friggin' like strong leg, but the Aloha Mama is a very, like, if you look at my most recent posts, and even in my Facebook photo, I didn't pay a dime for anything that I'm wearing. Those are free things that I've gotten from companies that I'm working with and I'm collaborating with to like promote them to my followers. And, you know, eventually I'll be able to leverage that into, you know, payment. That is where I'm going with it, for that particular brand, you know, so that I can have sponsored posts on my page, on my blog, and stuff like that. So, you know, if you find something that can help you, you know, like the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, right? And Plexus can be like the major one for you for sure. There's like no limit to what you can do. You know, if you want to have a blog, like Rachel is doing just fine with Plexus. Do you think she really needs a blog? No, but it's something that she's like being called to do right now. Like, and if you're being called to do it, it's like resonating with your soul. Like someone's going to want to read from you. Like someone's going to need that, you know? And there is a reason right now that all of you are on this call. There's a reason why all of you are on her team. There was something about her that you liked. There was something about her that you wanted, you know? And I mean, that's the reason that we all joined, right? I mean, essentially, there was something about the person that you were talking to that made you, you know, want to be like them. Like you wanted what they had, and Rachel is really good at that. So for real, like I told her when she invited me on this call that there are, you know, I have over 1,000 friends, and like a big chunk of them are Plexus people. And I told her I can unfollow all but like 3 people in Plexus and be just fine. And it just so happened that all 3 of those people are her downlines, right? Like we just like say that Rachel is awesome. And I had no idea, like offhand, you know, but that just shows that there's something about her. There's something really, you know, beautiful and unique. And there's something about you guys too. There's something that she recognized in you that you have this kinship with, that if you bring it out and you let it shine, you know, I have people all the time, and you don't know, like people are watching you and you don't know. Like I have people message me all the time. Like, do you think, especially like someone that I already have like admired, like everyone's got their like the people that they admire in Plexus that like, oh, I really admire your business. Like Rachel has always been one of those people for me. And so it was really awesome that she reached out to me and was like, you have to do this. Like, you know, you have to, you know, I really like resonate with what you're saying. And I get people all the time. Like I had some girl that I don't know, we're like random Plexus friends, I think. Actually, I don't know how we're friends anymore now that I'm thinking about it, but she just randomly messaged me and I was like, hey, I don't know if you saw, but I started doing yoga and it's because I saw you do it and you talked about how you're such a beginner and it's okay. And I just, like that was so awesome. Like people are watching, even if you don't think that they are, you know, you can inspire people just by really bringing out who you are. Like you don't get caught up in what other people are doing. Like just because, you know, Rachel does what she does really, really well doesn't mean that you have to like be a crunchy mom too. You know what I mean? Like just be who you are, because that authenticity, like pull out what it is that is your yes. Like don't get someone else's yes. Their yes isn't yours. So like do what it is that resonates with you. And that's when people are really going to like see you shine and start to identify with you. Like as much as I love the Blair Waldorf aesthetic and I think that like being all classy and whatever is cute, like are you for real? Like not this like hippie farm girl. Like nope, that's just not who I am. And so once I remembered, you know, my bohemian roots and I was able to really like showcase that to people and show it in the right way, that's when it started like happening for me. So I really hope that helps and that you guys like find your yes.
Thank you for bringing that up, Tiffani. That's something I was going to ask you to kind of elaborate on, because I have people come to me all the time like, well, Rachel, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how to advertise my business. And I'm like, there's so many ways. Like you just gotta, you know, like be yourself. Like don't try to be somebody else. I think when I started, you know, the people above me who were super successful, I was like, oh, well, they're doing good, so I need to do what they're doing. And it was like, total tank. Your friends know who you are. They know like what you like. They're going to be able to see right through it if you're trying to be something that you're not. And that includes your Plexus post. When you copy and paste from somebody else, they're going to know it's not your wording and they're going to know it's being super salesy. Look at her face. She knows. So yeah, like you can steal ideas from people. This is reiterating a little bit off the topic. Get inspiration, but be yourself, guys. Okay. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think that that's really important. Like find yourself and go after it, because there are people who are going to want you. They're going to like relate better to you than they're going to relate to me. They're like, well, Rachel's already at home. Like she's already got all this and she's like super hippie crunchy. I am not. And you're like working and I think we've meshed really well together. Like it happens all the time. You'd be surprised. So, well, did you have anything else that you wanted to say tonight, Tiffani?
No, not unless anybody else has any questions. That was it.
Going once, going twice. Okay. Well, this was wonderful. I don't know about you guys, but I have like 3 pages of notes. So thank you, Tiffani, so much. I'm super excited. I think the team loved it. I love you. It's just wonderful.
Love you guys.
Well, thank you for joining us. Big kisses.
If you guys have any like questions or anything like afterward, you can always find me on Facebook or on Instagram, the Aloha Mama, and I'm Tiffani Purdy. So,
you girl. All right, I'll like make sure I like put your Facebook profile.
Yeah, you can like tag me in a post or something like on your page for anyone who wants to like holler at me later.
Deal. Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, bye, ladies.